Hello dear students, we are reading chapter 4, the enemy, from our Vistas book of English for class 12th, and this is video part number 13 of this chapter. As you know, the chapter is quite long, of 28 pages. So we are on page number 43, and we studied in the last video that as planned by the journal, Sadao wanted that the POW should be killed by the assassins, and every night he keep on waiting for 3-4 days for the assassins to come and to kill the POW, but they were not there. Now we have to study from page number 43 this paragraph. His terror inflicted, this we have done actually in the last video. So we are here, from here we have to start. Yet when he opened the door and of the guest room in the morning, there was the young man. He was very gay and had already washed and was now on his feet. He had asked for a razor yesterday and had shaved himself, and today there was a faint color in his cheeks. So gay means what? Gay means happy, clear? And washed means here means bathed. He has taken bath that day, and there is what in the morning when Sadao went into the guest room and saw that the man was there and there were no assassins last night also. He saw that the POW was very happy and took his bath also, because he borrowed the razor from Sadao the previous day, and he shaved his beard and trimmed his long hair also. So the color of the cheeks were very slightly pinkish, which indicated that he has been recovering and regaining the good health, right? I am well, he said joyously. So he announced that I am now good, I am feeling good. So what he did, the man Sadao drew his kimono, right? Kimono, as we read in the starting of the chapter, it was a dress, which was worn by Japanese. So Sadao drew his kimono round his weary body. Weary means what? It's tired. Weary means what? Tired body. He could not, he decided suddenly, go through another night. It was not that he cared for this young man's life. No, simply it was not worth of strain. Okay, so strain is what? Strain means stress. So here Sadao wrapped his traditional kimono, or the gown you can say, around his tired body, and he was tired because the curiosity had kept him awake for 2 consecutive nights, because he was waiting for assassins to come to his house to kill POW, and now he decided that he could not pass one more night in such a way, such tireless or such sleepless night, right? So he decided that he has to do something to get rid of this POW. So actually he was not bothered about the life of this POW. He was not doing this to save the life of POW, but to save his wife, his family from the police and all that. No, he just wanted to do this step now, because he could not bear that stress and anxiety any longer. Now next paragraph we have to read from here, and please check it is there. You are well. You are well. Sadao agreed and lowered his voice. You are so well that I think I put my boat on the shore tonight. Now why he is doing so? So Sadao is saying that yes, you are feeling well, you are getting okay now, and he actually now this time he spoke slowly. He lowered his voice and said he was strong enough to sail a boat too. Clear? To sail a boat too. So because it was a part of Sadao's planning, that why he is arranging a boat now, because as he noticed that for 2-3 consecutive nights the assassins, they did not come to their house, so he planned a new plan without the help of anyone. So what was that? Let's see. So here he is saying that you are so well that I think if I put my boat on the shore tonight with food and extra clothing in it, you might be able to row to that little island not far from the coast. It is so near the coast that it has not been worth fortifying. Nobody lives on it because in storms it is submerged. But this is not the season of storm. You could live there until you saw a Korean fishing boat pass by. They pass quite near the island because the water is many fathoms deep. So in this paragraph, what Sadao is suggesting to him, he just made a plan that he would arrange one boat at the shore, and today he will do something. He will just put some stock of the food and the extra clothing, and the man would be able to row it to nearby island, right? And as the island was so close to the coast, it had not been guarded, so it was not inhabited, as it used to sink in the water. बहुत ज़्यादा वहाँ पे पानी हो जाता है, बहुत बाढ़ आ जाती है तो बीच में डूब जाता है. Submerged means to sink into the sea. Here sink into the water, right? So that is called submerged. And fortifying, there is one word fortifying. That fortifying is what? It is putting any security. Clear? So that's why he is saying you could just go to that particular island which was nearby with the help of the boat, right? And he is saying that now it is the season where the storms are not there, so one could live on the island right there until he suggested him to get away from there with the help of a Korean boat. So he could live there on the island till a Korean fishing boat passed by. And the Korean fishing boats passed near the island because the sea was many fathoms. Fathoms is what? Fathoms is a unit to measure the depth of the sea, right? So because that island is very deep there, so with the along with the island, the ship used to travel or pass by. Next, the young man stared at him. Now he stared. Stared means to look continuously, right? Slowly comprehending. Do I have to? He asked. I think so, said Ao gently. You understand, it is not hidden that you are here. Now, the young man was actually confused, and he stared at Sadao's behavior. He could not understand what he is saying. Again he asked that was it necessary for him to do so, and Sadao said yes, because he understands also the fact that the man was living in the house and everybody knows that, right? And the young man also wanted to go away, so he was also agreed with that. So please turn on the next page. Now page number 43. The young man nodded in perfect comprehension. Okay, he said simply. So he was agreed, right? And he understood that now he had to leave, and that's why he nodded. He nodded his head in acceptance and said okay, he would do that. Sadao did not see him again until evening. As soon as it was dark, he dragged means to pull, the stout boat. Stout boat is what? It's a fat big boat down to the shore. Shore is what? The corner of the sea, means kinara, and it is in it he put the bottled water, the food, and he had bought secretly during the day, as well as the 2 quilts also. Quilts is what? Rajai. He had bought at a pawn shop. So what is this pawn shop? Where second hand products we can get, So that is what pawn shop. The boat he tied to a post in the water, for the tide was high. There was no moon and he worked without flashlight. So what is there in this passage? Let's understand that here Sadao was there. Actually Sadao just told him what his plan. So Sadao left him, and he did not meet to that POW Tom during the day, and within that time he made the arrangements for him. He arranged the boat for him, he just placed the food and the bottled water in that, right, and the things which he required, like we have read from the pawn shop, he has purchased the quilts and all that. So all those things which are required to live for a person, for some days, so those all things were there in the boat. Now he has actually, as there was a high tide in the sea, right, the surf of the sea was very high, लहरें बहुत ज़ोर से चल रही थी, बहुत ज़्यादा हवा चल रही थी, तूफान थोड़ा बहुत था, और उस वक्त में that's why he has to tie the boat to a pole, and it was a dark moonless night, and Sadao arranged all these things, right, without any torch, and he did not want to be spotted by anyone, right. Next paragraph. When he came to the house, he entered as though he were just back from his work. And so Hana knew nothing, right? Here it is given. And so Hana knew nothing. Yumi was here today, she said as she served his supper. Though she was so modern, still she didn't eat with him. Yumi cried over the baby. She went on with a sigh. She misses him so. So when he came to the house, he entered as though he was just back from his work. एंड उसने ऐसा शो किया कि जैसे वो ऑफिस अपने गया था और वहाँ से अभी जस्ट आया है, लेकिन उसने उस बीच में क्या किया, दिन में उसने बोट अरेंज की, खाना अरेंज किया, बॉटल अरेंज की, सब सामान जो अरेंज किया और उसको बांध दिया कहाँ पे, on the corner, on the, you can say, the shore of the sea, right. So she said when he returned back to home, so Hana told that आज तो यूमी आई थी भाई, और उसने उसको बताया कब, जब वो उसको खाना सर्व कर रही थी, डिनर सर्व कर रही थी, that time, right, supper, so the last meal of the day. So though she was so modern, actually Hana we are talking about, but still she didn't eat with her husband. So she further told that Yumi was crying over the baby, and she went on with a sigh कि रोती रोती गई है आज, एंड उसने कहा कि वो उसको बहुत, बेबी को बहुत मिस करती है और समथिंग. तो जब वो खाना खा रहा था हस्बैंड, तो सब बातें उसने अपने हस्बैंड को बताई, राइट. नाउ the servants will come back as soon as the foreigner is gone, Sadao said. So here he didn't speak much to his wife, but he said that कि जब अमेरिकन चला जाएगा तो सारे सर्वेंट्स जो हैं वापस आ जाएंगे, तुम टेंशन मत लो, राइट. He went into the guest room that night before he went to bed himself and checked carefully the American's temperature, the state of the wound, and his heart and pulse. The pulse was irregular, but that was perhaps because the excitement. Now which excitement was that? That he has to live today, right? And moreover the doctor was not handing him over to the police. So the young man's pale lips were pressed together and his eyes burned. Only the scar on his neck were red. So here, that night before going to bed, Sadao visited that POW. He checked his body temperature, he checked his wound, he checked his heartbeat also, and he found that the heartbeat was little bit unsteady. There was some fluctuation, actually, some the breath was, the heartbeat was little bit fast, and that he came to know that it is due to the excitement, as he has to leave their home today. And he found that man's lips were also pale, actually, right. That is what pale means. He just pressed his lips and there was bloodless, and the eyes were red. It is what eyes burned. So it doesn't mean कि आग लग रही थी वहाँ पे. It is what कि the red eyes were, there, and the scars which they found on his neck, that they did not know that how he got those scars, that those were still red and had not healed yet. I realize you are saving my life again, he told Sadao. Now the young man said to Sadao that he was saving his life once again. Earlier also he saved his life, and once again he is saving his life. So not at all, Sadao said, it is only inconvenient to have you here longer. तो अब यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, सदाओ ये बताना नहीं चाहता, उसकी डिग्निटी हर्ट होगी कि मैं अपने एनिमी को बचा रहा हूँ और समथिंग, बट एक्चुअली दैट वाज ही वाज ट्रेन्ड टू डू सो, सो दैट्स व्हाई ही इज़ डूइंग राइट. बट यहाँ पे उसने कोई रिएक्शन नहीं दिया, और उसने सदाओ को POW को बोला कि it was not like that. He was not sending him because he was not sending him away from his house because he is caring for his life, but he is sending him because he is creating some inconvenience for his family, and he could not keep him any longer with them. He hesitated a good deal about giving the man a flashlight, but he had decided to give it him after all. It was a small one, his own, which he used at the night when he was called. So hesitated means, you know, paused in indecisions before saying or doing something. उसको लग रहा था कि देनी चाहिए कि नहीं देनी चाहिए, कुछ doubtful था. So Sadao was reluctant in giving him a torch, and you can say yes, exactly, that is what, reluctant, right? So a torch, as he felt that if the man used it unwisely, he could be spotted and land into trouble. कि अगर किसी ने नोटिस कर लिया कि वो फ्लैश जब वो ऑन कर रहा है, लाइट टॉर्च को ऑन कर रहा है, तो अगर किसी ने उसको देख लिया टॉर्च जलाते हुए, तो इसलिए वो हेजिटेट हो रहा था, इसलिए वो रिलक्टेंट था कि वो उसको टॉर्च ना दे, लेकिन फिर भी उसने फाइनली उसको टॉर्च दे दी. और ये जो टॉर्च थी, उसने वो खुद की अपनी टॉर्च दी है जब वो किसी पेशेंट को अटेंड करने के लिए रात के टाइम में जाता था. Next paragraph says, if your food runs out before you catch a boat, he said, signal me to flash at the same instant the sun drops over the horizon. Do not signal in darkness, for it will be seen. If you are all right but still there, signal me once. You will find fresh fish easy to catch, but you must eat them raw. A fire would be seen. Okay, the young man breathes. Now, here actually Sadao is saying that he did not care for him, right? But he was actually concerned for the man, so he instructed him that if his stock of the food finished before he found a Korean fishing boat, so he could signal him with 2 flashes of the torch at the dusk time, right? And he said him to be careful not to signal when it was dark, कि जब completely अंधेरा हो जाएगा तब तुम मुझे टॉर्च से फ्लैश नहीं करोगे, लेकिन तब करोगे जब ये डस्क टाइम होगा, ठीक है, क्योंकि अगर अंधेरे में करोगे, डार्क में करोगे तो पकड़े जाओगे. तो इसलिए उसने उसको सजेस्ट किया कि डस्क टाइम में तुम मुझे सिग्नल दोगे. तो उसने उसको बोला है कि जब अगर तुम्हारा खाना वाना ख़त्म हो जाएगा और तुम कोरियन बोट नहीं पकड़ पाओगे, तो उस टाइम में तुम मुझे कितने फ्लैश करोगे, कितने फ्लैश से सिग्नल दोगे? 2 फ्लैशेस से सिग्नल दोगे. लेकिन अगर तुम वहाँ पे ठीक ठाक हो, और he asked him to be here it is saying, or if do not signal in darkness, and signal me one if you find the fresh, if you are all right, means अगर तुम सही हो तो तुम एक फ्लैश करोगे सर, राइट. और उसने उसको फर्दर just advised him that he could find, if he got the shortage of the food sometime, so he added that he could find a fish in the sea near the island, but he had to eat that raw, because it was not supposed to, he was not supposed to cook it, because the fire would be spotted by the guards and put him in the danger. So man also, this POW also drew a breath, you can say the breath on hearing the instruction, and he was also accepting his whatever he was being told. So he said, okay, I will do that. So this is okay for today, and in the next video we will read the text from page number 45. Thank you very much. Make notes of the chapter.